video. Gave the Audi a quick wash. You know the deal. Today I want to polish the taillights and the headlights because they're a bit foggy. I'll be going through the whole process of how I do it on lights that aren't too foggy. Because usually I use sand them, but I don't think it's going to be necessary for these ones. Or maybe the front ones, I'm not sure. But we'll see. We'll do a step-by-step how to do it if anybody wants to learn. I also got myself, finally, an armrest. Because mine came without anything, literally just flat, and it's so uncomfortable. I've never had a car without an armrest. So I'll be installing this. I'm not sure if I'm going to be doing it in today's video or the next one, because I will need to cut a hole there, somewhere here. Yeah, I'll need to make a custom hole so that this thing fits and goes through, because mine doesn't come with it. But that should be pretty good. Can't wait to install it. I also ordered some parts for it. I ordered a new thermostat and a thermostat sensor, which I'm gonna be changing because this one's glitching, and it's so cheap that there's no point in checking what's wrong. I'll just change everything. I don't know when it's been changed, so better to just change it now. But that should be in a different video because I still don't have the parts. I'll take the car to the dry hall and I can start polishing. So since they're not too bad, I'll only be rubbing it down with a rotary machine and then finishing it off with a 15 dual action. Should be pretty good. They're not that foggy, so yeah. There's also other ways to do it if you don't have any polishing machines or anything. I did it on one of my cars, which was you basically sand it with a 1000 grit, then a 3000, then a 5000 or 6000, depends. After that, you put on clear coat and it should be fine. I think I did 2 layers of clear coat on it and it worked pretty good too. So sand it down and clear coat, that also works. But of course you won't get the exact same results as you would with a polishing machine. I think I'll open up the boot and just leave this off so we can at least see some difference here, how this looks and how this one looks after it's finished. And I'll need to put some tape around the paint so I don't sand it. So I don't polish that, because I'm not gonna do that yet. And yeah, so we'll see the results after I'm done with it. So I've taped it all around, and now I'll be using a soft buff pad on a rotary machine and try to buff it out and see how good that turns out. I see there are some deeper scratches, but it's not too deep, so I'm pretty sure it should be fine since it's also plastic. You also gotta be pretty careful to not burn it since it is plastic and not normal paint. And it can get pretty hot with a rotary machine since it's only spinning round in circles. So if you keep it too long in one place, it can burn and will. I'm using Resurrection by Angel Wax. It's a pretty good compound, it's a heavy cut, and that should do the job for this one. Shouldn't be too bad. So we'll see how it turns out. Now that that's buffed off, I'll be using the dual action machine to finish it. I'll wipe that down first. I can still see there's some scratches in some places, but that's because I didn't sand it, and I'll just keep it that way. They're not too big, so if I would have sanded it, I could have gotten these scratches, some of them off, some of them. But yeah, I'll leave it on for now. Now I'll wipe the paste off and use a dual action machine to finish it off and see the results. After buffing, no matter what it is, paint, headlight, taillight, make sure that you use alcohol just to get all the paste off completely before you finish them off, so that you can get a nice clean finish and that none of the scratches come back afterwards. Now I'll be using a dual action machine, a 15. For the people that don't know, the difference between a dual action machine and a rotary machine is that a rotary machine only spins in one circle. That's all it does, to buff things out. That's why it also gets very hot when you use it. A dual action machine spins in a circle, plus the whole pad is spinning around, which then removes and doesn't leave any holograms after you're done. After buffing it out, I'll be using Regenerate. It's a medium cut compound, and it says here a swirl remover, because the rotary machine leaves swirls since it's only going in circles, like I said before. So it's important that you use something on a dual action machine to remove the swirls. I didn't connect it. How did that happen? Where did it go? So now that that's done, all you do is just wipe it off. I can already see it's much more shiny, much more see-through. Gee, the results are actually pretty visible. This is not polished. This is polished. You see how much you can see through? And here you can just see a lot of swirls and a lot of scratches. So yeah, that's the difference. Pretty nice, pretty nice. So when it comes to the headlights on this car, I can see that they're pretty foggy. A lot of stone chips and small stuff like that just adds up to a lot of fog. So I'll add 2 extra steps on these. I'll be wet sanding them before I polish. Probably just doing a 4,000 grit sandpaper and then a 6,000 grit sandpaper. Then buff it out and finish it with a dual action. First I'll put some tape around everything, open up the hood so it doesn't cover the headlight, and yeah, here we go. I'll be wet sanding it now with a machine. All you need for that is some water and sandpaper. You can also do it by hand, but since I have a machine available, I'll just do it by that. I'll start with a 4,000 grit and go over to a 6,000. Sanded it. Now I'll go over to a 3,000 grit. I don't think it's gonna do a lot because now I can see a lot of stone chips that are very hard to remove, but I'll go over to a 3,000 now, then a 6,000, and then buff it all out and finish it. Some alcohol again. All right, now the headlight is all sanded. Now I'll go and buff it out. It's pretty foggy now after all the sanding, which makes sense because I went with a 3-step, and as soon as you start sanding, it's gonna make a lot of micro scratches, which leads to it looking like very foggy. All right, now we do exactly the same thing we did on the back. Just buff it out and finish it off with a dual action. Okay, so all 4 headlights are done. The front ones didn't really Nothing really happened with the front ones. They're pretty much the same as they were, but the back ones really had a good result after doing that. What I'd like to do now is try and fit this thing, but that would mean that I have to cut a hole in here, and I don't know if I want to risk doing that right now. I don't know. I'll see. I'll take it off first, if I even can take it off, and then I'll see what I'll do with it. At least it's already set up for the bracket. Oh my god, it's dirty inside. What is that? I got the bracket in, but well, the problem is obviously this one where the whole thing is supposed to go, and I'm supposed to have a hole here. Only thing stopping everything here is the hole, which is annoying. How do I make a hole here with the right dimensions? So after some back and forth, I decided to just cut it myself, or in this case, melt it myself, because I don't have a Dremel. I drew up the hole where it's supposed to be, and I'll just start from the middle, make a little hole, and go on from there, see what happens. Because it doesn't really matter if I take it out or not, I still won't be able to see exactly where it's supposed to be, so might as well just send it. This is gonna take longer than expected. I was planning on making a time lapse about me making the hole, but then my storage was full on my phone. I didn't realize that. I'm done with the hole, and yeah, I'll just show you the hole. All right, this was definitely not the right way to do it. I melted everything with a soldering machine because I didn't have anything else. But I mean, from far away, it looks like it's factory. Oh, never mind. It doesn't. Definitely doesn't look like it's factory made. But look at this. Watch. Whoop. Whop. Easy as that. Last thing I'll do is clean the leather, since this one looks pretty dirty. Leather is not supposed to be shiny. It's supposed to be matte. If the leather is shiny, it means it's dirty. So you can already see how brown the foam is. You guys can't probably see it, but I can see it. Give it a quick wipe. There we go, much better. After like 40 minutes of melting it and trying to make the hole, it fits. I got it in. It is leather though, but it's better than driving without it. So my car's finished. Headlights, tail lights, and I mounted the armrest finally. The armrest took way too long, longer than expected, but that's because I didn't have the right tools for it, so I just melted a hole in it. Definitely not the right way to do it, but it worked. So yeah, that's pretty much it for this video. I appreciate you guys for liking the videos, watching them, and yeah, have a good day.